My Fade Up podcast listeners, it's your boy Brand, aka Birdman Brand, host of the Fade Up podcast. I wanted to come to y'all today because it's been a couple weeks since I posted my last blog. Since then, last vlog. There's been a couple of things that have gone on since then. Most recently, I wrote a blog that I put out on Medium.com. So go check it out, Medium.com. The name of the blog is There Is No Hashtag. Just to give you a gist of what that blog is about, it's about the fact that black men, I feel us as black men, that we don't do enough supporting of one another. And the reason why I say that is because when you look at movements like the hashtag Black Girl Magic or Black Girl Excellence and those kind of things, women do a great job at supporting one another. Black women do an excellent job at supporting one another. Doesn't matter, what your sexual preference is. It doesn't matter what your status is. It doesn't matter, whether you're light skinned, dark skinned, your social status. To them, when they see other women doing cool shit, they support it, no matter what. And I know there's anomalies. I know there's, not everyone is like that within the group. But I had wrote that article based off the fact that as I thought about it, us as men, we don't necessarily do the same thing. Like I think about my podcast, I had put in the article as well, is that with my podcast, most of the lended support comes from a lot of the women I know, friends, family members, what have you. A lot of my boys, while they do support, they don't necessarily, I've had maybe one or two, actually offer up that support or that help versus, several women friends have done that. So I wanted to challenge that a little bit. And I know there's Black Boy Joy. I know that that's out there. But I think for me personally, when I think of Black Boy Joy, while it's a great movement, it should be a great movement, but it should be bigger. And I think that it's lacking that support because of us as black men. So why I'm making this video as a follow-up, because it was brought to my attention from a friend of mine who read the article, thought it was a great read, but he said, what's the solution? And as I look back over the article, I realized that I had threw a blurb out there, but it was more so of a kind of a quick thing, so I wanted to follow up on that. So when I think of what support or what we could do to push that movement and support one another as black men, is first things first. Like we gotta get rid of the ego, right? We gotta take the alpha male bullshit out of it, get rid of the ego, and start recognizing one another as similar. Us as black men, we go through similar trials and tribulations. We have shared experiences. That's what is great about the Black Girl Magic movement, because it's not about, like I said, sexuality and those kind of things, or it's not about how light the tone of your skin is and all that. It's more so about we have shared experiences, right? Those women know that coming up in Hollywood or to create a business, to become executives and CEOs over large firms and companies, to go out and start their own small businesses that turn from just, side projects to huge things, life-altering things. They know that they're going to have shared experiences. They know that they're going to be told that they can't do something because they're a woman, or because they're a single mother, or because they're black, or because they're bisexual or lesbian. They know that when they come in those doors, people are going to look at them sideways and look at them funny. I went to a conference a couple of weeks ago, and one of the women there was talking about when she goes out and she goes to these vendor shows, and she's sitting out in front of her booth and everything, and people come in and they look at her clothes and they say, they ask where the owner is, and she's like, I'm the owner. And immediately she gets these surprise reactions, and those are the challenges that they go through. Us as men, we're going to go through the same thing, black men. So what we need to do, like I said, is first of all, recognize that we all have shared experiences, similar things we're going to go through, similar obstacles that we share. We may not come across the same obstacles, obviously, because all experiences are going to be different, but it's a good chance that we're going to have, quite a few experiences in common that we have to go through. So one thing is to get rid of that. Another thing is also to check on mental health. I'm a big proponent of mental health. I myself have been diagnosed with bipolar depression, and it was hard for me to admit that. But it's getting easier for me to admit that now. So I love talking about it openly. But we got to talk about that amongst men a lot more. We got to open ourselves up to be a lot more vulnerable, to know that we got emotions and feelings, that, we deal with things, and those things need to be pushed to the surface and not necessarily buried. I know that from experience what, the repercussions of that is. So another thing is we got to start talking about mental health with one another. We got to start checking in on one another's mental health. Asking friends, are they okay? When we noticing that someone is down or someone's seeming, a little bit off character, to ask them what's going on. And to try to push without being intrusive or without being annoying, but to push that person to talk about it. Or if nothing else, hey, you know what I'm saying? Let's go out. Let's have a drink. Let's go do something that kind of gets you out of this funk that you're in. That's another way we got to do it. Another way, obviously, too, is to support, or I'm sorry, not support. But when we see other black men get wins, to shout that out. And it doesn't have to be someone that you know personally. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone that's in your life. It could be anyone. When you see someone doing some cool shit or some successful shit, we should be clapping our hands to that. And we should be sharing that. We should be talking about it. It should be a part of our conversations. So that's the other part I think of it too. Like, when you think of those solutions, like what can be done, I know, and this is not toot my own horn, but when friends tell me about ideas and businesses, especially now that I'm trying to start and blow this podcast up, I'm trying to blow this blog up, I'm trying to blow this blog up, I'm trying to really turn this idea of just being a podcaster into something major, and to grow it into something beyond, what anybody else can imagine, but only what's in my vision and what I see in my head. So when I hear friends talk about businesses they want to start or ideas that they have, I immediately try to push. Like, go do it, man. Go do it. Why not? You could do it. Especially when I know you got the mind for it, or you got the drive for it, or I know it's something that you're good at, or even if you may not be good at it, the fact that you want to do it, is enough for me. So I go to push that. I try to push that. I follow up with them. When friends say that they have ideas, I try to come back later on those ideas. Hey, how's it going? Do you need some help? Is there something that I can do? Maybe there's some assistance that I can offer. There's some advice that I can offer, some feedback. Do you need me to look at something for you? No matter what it is, like, I want that person to know that you have that support, that you have someone behind you that is willing to champion that for you. And then, like I said, doing it randomly for someone who you just see doing something great. It doesn't have to be someone you know. That's what makes the Black Girl Magic movement so great, is because it's not always women that know one another. If they know someone is going to make their own skincare line, someone will go and support it. Someone will go and support it because they know it's another black woman that's doing that. Us as black men, we kind of have a hard time with that. I know, again, like I said, I know there's anomalies to it, and I know there's people out there who disagree with the article. I know there's some who will see this video and disagree, and that's fine. It's my personal thoughts and beliefs, but I'm only going off that because what I see, also what I experience, what's in my circle, what I see in other circles. So I want us to challenge that more as black men, is what I'm saying, is what I'm getting at. When you see other black men doing something, don't look at their sexuality. Don't look at how light or how dark their skin is. Don't look at their social upbringing or economic upbringing. You know that they're doing something great, then you clap your hands for that. And that's what we need to do. Those are some of the things, like, I feel we should do as black men. So I love to hear you guys' feedback, if you have any, on what you think about that. You agree, you disagree. If you got any other ideas for support or what have you, I'm all ears. I'm all for hearing that. So this is something I just want to put out again. Go check out that blog. It's on medium.com. So it's not to toot my own horn, but it's a great read. Writing is something that I love to do as a kid growing up, and I'm kind of getting back into it. So check it out. It's on medium.com. Name of the article is "There Is No Hashtag." Also, if you're not listening to the Fade Up podcast, we drop new shows every single Monday. So we got something coming up. Also, if you're in the Detroit area, March 19th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., we will be down at Little Caesars Arena recording a live show inside Mike's Pizza Bar. So if you're available, you're in the area, flights are low as hell right now because of the virus scare. So come up to Detroit, man. Spend that 2 hours down there, have some fun, show the support, because we're doing some great things, man. So again, thank you. Keep listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification button so you can be up to date on our most recent videos that we'll be posting out here. So keep showing that support. Appreciate it, y'all. Peace out.